Hello, booktube. This is Aaron from Aaron Read a Book or Aaron Read a Book. I'm doing an unusual thing for me, which is a TBR. I don't normally do TBRs because I'm a mood reader, so I find it very hard to stick to any sort of homework, even if I've set it for myself. But it's Shorty September coming up, so I feel like I'm better at setting things when they're very small books that I have to read. So also because there's so many prompts, I can set loads, and if I don't get to them all, then it's fine. But I feel like I've got such a wide range of choice, I should be fine. But let's go through the prompts, and I've got some extra ones as well that I haven't quite yet shoehorned into any of the prompts, but and there's two prompts that I haven't done yet, but we'll get to that. The first prompt is Leopard Print shorts. Read a book you've seen someone else reading out in the wild, can be public or online. When I'm out in public, I am on public transport, I'm reading a book and listening to music at the same time. So I've never seen anyone out in public, not just reading a book. I've never seen any other humans. But so I'm gonna have to go with online. I'm gonna go with A Chess Story by Stefan Zweig. I think that's how you say it. Which I'm almost certain I saw on Aaron Face's channel. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on his channel, and I think I've seen it on other people's channels as well. I am a big chess fan. I love sort of playing chess and watching chess, but I am rubbish at it, so it's just a life of pain and misery, but it's still fun anyway. I'm not sure how much actual chess is in this. It's got chess on the cover and stuff, so it must be chessy. But it was written in 1942, and apparently the guy who wrote it killed himself immediately after writing it. So I'm sure it's going to be a very cheerful thing. It's also about Nazism, so this sort of sounds like a recipe for a great time. But yeah, it's what is it, 104 pages. I definitely need to read some chessy things, but sounds good. And I'm pretty sure Aaron Facer liked it. Next, Half and Half shorts. Read a book, then watch the movie, or the other way around. For this, I'm going to go with an American classic, book-wise, and I'm going to go with The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, because I've never read any Hawthorne, and I bought this Library of America edition with loads of his books in, or 4 of his books in. And this, I believe, is about a fallen woman in the 1700s or something, and she has to wear a letter because she's an adulteress or something. I don't want to learn too much about it, to be honest, but because it's only short, and yeah, I'm going to read it. And there is a movie version of this which looks amazingly bad, which it's from 1995, and it stars Demi Moore and Gary Oldman in it. I think to sort of universal criticism, no one liked it, but it looks funny. I'm gonna watch that version of it if I get time. I probably will. And yeah, I'm a big Gary Oldman and Demi Moore fan anyway, so I reckon I'll like it. Next prompt is Micro Taylor Swift shorts. Read a poetry book or read a book with a breakup in it. Breakup would be too easy. I'm gonna go with a poetry book. I don't own very many poetry books, but and the ones that I do own, I kind of haven't read, apart from Tim Key, because they're funny poems. But I have got this, Philip Larkin's The Whitson's Weddings, and it's very, very short. So I feel a bit too stupid for poetry sometimes, but I think Larkin's quite funny, from what I know about him, and it's very short, and I like this little copy, so I will give this a go and let you know if I understood any of it. But I've always heard good things about Larkin, so we'll give that one a go. Next prompt is Jorts, jean shorts. Read a book from the 70s or 80s. But which 70s or 80s? I'm gonna go with The Secret Diary of a Nobody by George and Whedon Grossmith, which was serialized in the 1880s. This is like a comical novel about a guy, I think, and his sort of small group of friends over 18 months or something. And it's kind of a classic. Well, it must be a classic. It's like 500 years old, but it's, yeah, a classic comic novel, and I've heard good things about it, so I want to read that. But I'm going to throw in a 1980s diary as well, and I'm going to reread one of my favourite books from when I was a kid, and that is The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 3/4 by Sue Townsend. This I read loads and loads of times when I was a kid, but I think I read it much younger than when 13, because I remember thinking all this stuff was like way ahead of me, and being a bit scared by it. But it's a very sort of silly book about a teenager, and he's infatuated by this girl called Pandora. I remember that, and I think she's a horse girl, and he sort of just messes everything up all the time. And I remember that throughout the diary he's measuring as he grows older, and I remember thinking that is very strange, or very amusing when I was a kid. But yeah, those two diaries, they both fit the Jorts one. Rockstar Shorts. Read a book and pair it with a song or album. I've got this little graphic novel, A History of the Middle Ages, which I bought. I saw this on YouTube. I can't remember who had it. I think it might have been Charlotte and Coin Reads. But it looks amazing, and I mean, it's a bit basic for me because I've studied a lot of medieval history, but it's nice sometimes just to get a general overview, and it will be a quick read, and I really like the artwork in it. It's really cool. But I'm going to pair this with one of my favourite albums of all time, which is Peasant by Richard Dawson, and that is a album told from the perspective of a medieval peasant, so it fits the Middle Ages, but it's also about Brexit and things. It's like a what's the word? I can't remember the word, but it's a brilliant album by a really amazing musician, Richard Dawson. He's the Geordie. He kind of does. Every album is very different, but he kind of does a modern kind of aggressive folk. I'm going to see him in October again, so that will be nice and fitting. Where am I up to? I'm up to Zip Off Trousers. Read a book with a title that could be shorter. Here I'm going with The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I've only read Treasure Island by Stevenson, and this is a very long title. All his books seem quite to be short, and I mean, it's a classic. Everyone knows the kind of basic premise of Jekyll and Hyde, but it could just be called Jekyll and Hyde, and his name could just be Robert Stevenson. Why is he hogging all the names? Yeah, so that one could be shortened. The next prompt is Paper Bag Shorts. Buy a book and read it. Bonus points for getting in a paper bag. I'm gonna do that on the night. I'm I'm going to go out and buy one in September because it gives me an excuse to go out and buy a book. Supermarket 2-pack shorts bundle. Read a non-fiction book that ties in with another of your shorties. I haven't found anything for this one yet. Again, I might do that one in September and try and find something that relates. Or I'll read one of the shorties, and if it's sort of interesting, I will go and find a non-fiction about it. I feel like I've missed one here. Yeah, I missed the first one. Ripped Shorts, read a mystery or slasher. I've missed 2. Anyway, we'll go. Oh, they don't have to be in order. Ripped Shorts, I'm reading The Thin Man by Dashiell Hammett. This is... I saw Heather reading this recently from Too Many Heathers, one of the hosts of Shorty September, and she really loved it. And I just bought it like 2 days before because I liked the cover. So that was sort of kismet. It sounds really interesting. I've never read Dashiell Hammett. It's sort of a husband and wife detective team, which sounds interesting. I wouldn't normally call hard-boiled things mysteries, but they are mysteries, aren't they, really? They've just got a lot more sort of shooting and alcohol in them. But yeah, I love this cover. I'm going to give this one a go. And the second prompt that I missed was summer cookout shorts. Read a book, eat/cook something that goes with it. I'm choosing for this a book that I bought on Kindle during the Women's World Cup readathon, where I got Colombia, and Colombia did quite well, but then they got knocked out by England, and then England lost in the final to Spain. And I bought When I Sing Mountains Dance by Irene Soler, and I didn't read it because I was too angry at Spanish people for beating us in the World Cup. And since then, they've knocked the men's team out of the final of the Euros as well. So I'm still pretty angry at them. But this sounds interesting, and it was recommended by Joe Smith in the Discord, I believe. And it's a sort of a portrait of Catalonia told in short stories, almost short story like form. And I believe sort of either the first one or a key one is about chanterelle mushrooms. So I can read this book and then make something with mushrooms on toast. Or I'm very fond of blue cheese with mushrooms, so maybe I would do some sort of blue cheese mushroom thing, burgerish thing. But yeah, I don't need much excuse. I'm a big fan of mushrooms. Back down to the other prompts, I have got up to new metal Bermuda shorts. Read a book that mixes genres. For this, I can't remember where I think I bought this for Horror Mayhem, and I never got around to it. I saw it on Book Blathers channel. I think this might have been an Olive choice. And it's Unhinged, an erotic door romance by Vera Valentine. So this is like a mix of romance, fantasy, because it's a man who's been turned into a door, or a door that's turned into a man, one of the two. And it's sort of DIY home improvement, so I might learn about doors and how they fit onto things. So that sounds like a good deal to me. It's all the genres. It's all the genres that humans care about. Then we've got shorts with pockets. Read a book with something on the cover that would fit into a pocket. This one is, again, another book that I read a lot when I was a child. And recently I saw Rambler Raconteur. He did a video with his daughter, and she'd been reading loads of Roald Dahl books. And I recommended them one that they hadn't read, and that was Boy, which is Roald Dahl's sort of autobiography of when he was a kid. Obviously, wonderful Quentin Blake artwork, and there's a little mouse. He's putting a mouse into the sweets, and I have very vivid memories of him describing the sweets and stuff in the sweet shop. But yeah, I could put a little mouse in my pocket. And this is the actual copy I had when I was a kid, so it's like it's got all the art, it's got artwork all through it, but it's also got like pictures and things. I remember this sort of a very horrific incident with an early motor vehicle, and also sort of caning and things like that don't exist anymore. But great artwork, and I should like it would be very nostalgic to me to read this. Yeah, I've got like red fingerprints all over it. Looks like a murder scene. But he also gets a job as a chocolate tester, which sounds amazing. And then we're down to the optional prompt, which I am definitely going to do, which is Paul Mescal shorts. And this is read an Irish book, but joked that this is sort of the Claire Keegan prompt, but I am going to read Claire Keegan book, The Forester's Daughter by Claire Keegan. I forgot to mention all the hosts. I'll put them in the description, but I'm pretty sure the hosts are Sean and Bert from Story Time and Heather from Too Many Heathers. I think that's all of them, but if not, I'll put it in the description anyway. I've read 3 Claire Keegan books now, and they're all amazing. I think Foster is the standout book that I've read by her, but this one is very short. I believe this is about a girl and a dog, so that sounds fun. Beautiful cover as well, although I've only got it on Kindle edition. Now we're into the optional sort of ones that I haven't fit into anything yet, but I've got lying around my house. So I have actually loads more short books that I haven't read, but these are the ones that I've got picked up. This is one I bought recently, Spock Must Die by James Blish. This is the first Star Trek book that wasn't about the episodes, or wasn't a direct thing of the episode, so should be interesting. It's very short, just over 120 pages or something, and it's got 2 Spocks in it. 2 Spocks. There's one more Spock than usual, so that sounds good. Next we've got The Thin Man by G.K. Chesterton. I've had this lovely little Penguin edition for ages, and I think I tried to start it a couple of times and never got around to it, but G.K. Chesterton just sounds like an author that I would be really into. Sort of like born in Victorian times, and sort of a comedic novelist. And I believe this is about, yeah, well, it is, I've just seen it on the back, it's about undercover policemen and the man who was Thursday. I think Thursday is his code name, sort of like James Bondy type thing. But yeah, I need to give G.K. Chesterton a go. Another one that I've had for a while, A Hero of Our Time by Lermontov, Mikhail Lermontov. And this is about a young army officer, sort of, I believe, on a massive bender, but yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. And lastly, a non-fiction, Beneath the Heart of the Sea, which is Owen Chase, who was on the whale ship Essex that was sunk by a whale, and was the inspiration for Moby Dick. I've read another non-fiction about this, In the Heart of the Sea by who wrote In the Heart of the Sea? Is it Nathaniel Philbrook? I think so. But yeah, Owen Chase was actually on there, and this is a little his sort of personal take on it, so that should be interesting. Yeah, I've got loads of other things, but this video has to end somewhere. I've still got those 2 prompts that I need to find, buy one, and the non-fiction about one of these books. Maybe I should read something about a whale, and then I can read Beneath the Heart of the Sea. But yeah, I'm very excited about Shorty September. I'm going to try and fit in at least one Shakespeare play for Shake Tube or Shake Timber or whatever it's called now as well. But these are the ones that I've got for Shorty September. So far, I might end up buying more. I also have a Simeon one on hold at the library, so I might try and get a George Simeon one in there as well. But yeah, what are you reading for Shorty September? Have you read any of these books? Let me know what you thought of them. What's your favourite Shorty? Let me know down in the comments. Have a good one, booktube. Bye.